City Council meeting for Monday, May 13th, 2024. We'll call the meeting to order. If we don't stand up and say the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, roll call, please, Cheryl.
Matt Hardy?
Yep.
Joe Meyer?
Yep.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Tracy Thompson?
Yes.
Okay, number 4, approval of the agenda. Any questions or comments with anything on there?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda that was submitted.
Second? Second. Roll call, please.
Tracy Thompson?
Yes.
Joe Meyer?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Matt Hardy?
Yeah. Okay, number 5, I believe we can skip. And then, number 6, the consent agenda. Again, questions, comments, with anything regarding that.
Looked like Eric gave the okay on the fence permit. Questions here?
No, I didn't have any questions.
Okay, we'll ask for a motion to accept then.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second? Second. Roll call, please.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Joe Meyer?
Yes.
Matt Hardy?
Yeah.
Tracy Thompson?
Yes.
Okay, number 7, set the public hearing for budget amendment for June 10th, 2024. Discuss and consider approval of changing the date of public hearing from May 28th, 2024 to June 10th, 2024.
Yeah, last meeting, the public hearing was actually set for the 28th, and then with my unforeseen time away from the office, I just requested we move it to the 10th to allow time to get the amendment put together.
We'll still meet everything we need to with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, any other questions or discussion needed on that? Okay, if not, I'll ask for a motion to accept the budget amendment for June 10th.
I'll make a motion to accept the budget amendment for June 10th, 2024.
The public hearing.
The public hearing.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Matt Hardy?
Yeah.
Tracy Thompson?
Yes.
Adam Ryder?
Yes.
Joe Meyer?
Yes.
Okay, number 8, fire alarm monitoring system. Discuss and consider approving quote for the fire alarm monitoring. I know we've had some questions on this, and we've kind of been waiting on some information on this whole thing, so I guess what do you got, Cheryl?
Just that it was tabled at the last meeting due to, from the notes I gathered, the $162 a month for the monitoring service. Question, what was that included? I reached out to Johnson Controls, and it includes the cost of the cell numbers that are used, so they, just like every cell phone bill that we get, people have to pay for them. So they pay for the phone provider, which we in turn reimburse them for. And it also includes the required daily timer tests. So when it's being monitored, it sends a signal to their monitoring central station, just as a daily test to make sure it's working. And then if there's a fire alarm that goes off, it would detect that, and then they can dispatch it out to whoever's listed on the contracts, to the fire department or whatever. So that $862 comes down to $71.91 per month. And then I also reached out to them because the quotes that we got were back from February, and it noted on that they were only good for 30 days, so I just wanted to touch base that everything, nothing had gone up. He hoped to have an answer back to me within the week, so I'd suggest not quite approving it yet until we get those final figures.
So I'm trying to remember which was Johnson Control, were they cheaper than the?
Johnson
Vermont.
Control was the only one that offered using the current panel that we have
Okay,
and then installing a dialer on that.
right,
The other one would be, all new smoke detectors. The panel would still work, but they would put a dialer on it, but in order for the panel to work with their smoke detectors, it would have to be all,
yeah,
and that was, like over 14,000,
okay.
where using the same panel was like 4,700 plus the monthly monitoring.
So with Johnson, it's all, like all of their testing, it's just all done remote then, it sounds like? Do they do like an annual on-site or anything?
The annual inspection was not included in the quote, so I am getting an extra cost on that. So
Okay.
they could come in and do an annual testing and inspection for us too.
Okay, so should we table it again then
I would
until you
table it,
hear
yes,
back
till next
this
meeting.
week? Okay. Okay, hopefully this is the last time we have to table it, so, okay, we'll have it on the agenda for the next meeting then.
Well, I put it on the agenda in hopes that they'd respond to my email a little more promptly, but
Yeah.
I finally had to call them today and
Okay.
didn't have anything.
No, that happens, so. Okay, okay, we'll put that on the next agenda. So we'll jump down to 9, discuss and consider approving the filing of DRA grant for Preston Growth and Development, / Farmers Market. So Nancy and Megan are here, and I guess if you guys wanna kinda give us kinda what you guys are thinking on this and
Yeah.
and where we stand with that, so.
So I guess I'll start with like what we will use the grant money for, kind of what we're applying for that is, it's kind of a two-part thing. What we listed as most important on the grant, assuming that we get the approval to have her write it, is we wanna get an electronic sign for Too Good Park, that like scrolls, fancy bright colors. Tansy doesn't have to change the letters. That's the first piece of it, and then we're also asking for funding, for startup costs for the farmer's market. And kind of what we're picturing that funding would go to is, us being to go visit other farmers markets. Our biggest thing is we want to do this really well the first year, because if we don't, nobody will return. And the idea is that people return and then the farmer's market will be self-funding.
Sure.
So, buying some tables and tents and getting signage to hang across the light poles or put, at the parks that, hey, the farmer's market's this way, and posters and all kinds of, mostly just marketing, is a lot of it. And so, what else did Amanda tell me to say? Oh, yes, and then we're also hoping to get sinks in the bathrooms at Too Good. We're kind of trying to tie that in with the electronic sign. Cause the goal is to have the farmer's market downtown, and then in a perfect world, we outgrow this space
Sure.
and need to relocate to the park, but we wanna start downtown, with hopes of getting too big for the main drag, I guess.
Okay. So the sinks and everything, that would be all that money would be included in that grant for putting all that in?
Hopefully.
Okay,
Yes, that's what we're hoping for, and then,
yeah,
obviously, if we don't get all the money, we shrink things,
sure.
but yes.
The grant
Okay.
can be filed for up to 50,000.
Oh, okay,
That's the most you can get.
okay,
Um,
And 2 years. In 2 years, it can get 2 parts.
oh, yes, we can get it in 2 sets of funding, so we can get like the first chunk now, and then save some for
Oh,
next year to help
okay.
things get going next year.
sure, okay.
And then, just the farmer's market in general, it really falls in with the comp plan that we did quite nicely, like with, small town character, supporting local businesses with having it on the main drag, and room to grow, are just like all things that we talked about in the comp plan that we think it will tie in really nicely with. And obviously support and buy-in from the city is tremendous on the grant application, so anything the city could offer as a match, like even if it's not monetary, like in-kind things, like covering the insurance or, work to put the sign up, things like that would be super helpful in kind of boosting our chances in getting it, the DRA grant, and then we're also hoping to apply for the McDonough and Jackson County Foundation grants. We think they would be pretty supportive of the farmer's market. Yeah, I guess.
So
that's
is the
all.
hope then to do the farmer's market right over here?
Yeah.
Square, okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Kind of, I guess we haven't decided the very specific logistics of where, but somewhere along
Sure,
the street,
yeah,
yeah.
okay,
And Jamie said we could use her area too. She's all for it also.
gotcha, okay. Yeah, perfect.
And again, it really ties in good with the DRA grant that we got last year, when they can see that we're using it
Oh, absolutely.
and for the future. So Amanda thinks, you know, that we got a pretty good chance for it again. The amount's just gonna depend.
Yeah, okay. What do you guys have any idea, like, what kind of dollar amount you're looking at, just to get the farmer's market started? Any idea what?
I mean, I guess I don't have on a low budget scale, we could do it with no startup money. I mean, Preston Growth would have a minimal amount of
Right.
funds to throw at marketing. Having the grant money, and basically whatever amount they'll give us, we're gonna make work, I guess. We would really like to buy like a couple tents and tables, so that if people are like new to being a vendor, that's kind of a really large upfront cost to not even know if your stuff's gonna sell. So being able to be like, hey, if you're a first time vendor, we have 2 setups that you can just borrow.
Yeah.
But like technically we could do it with.
Yeah, I was just curious
Yeah.
if you guys had kind of an amount in
Yeah.
mind you guys were shooting for or hoping for, and then.
Not yet, we've only had like 1 meeting with Amanda.
Okay,
The DRA grant application just closes like very, very soon, so we kind of had to,
yep,
but we have like, the state of Iowa has a manual on how to start a farmer's market. So we're hoping to have another meeting soon and figure all of that
Okay.
stuff out.
okay,
A lot of things she listed, we're gonna get quotes and everything on those and just get an overall cost of what we need for money for the
Right.
grant. We wanna include as much as we can and hopefully get at least a portion
oh, yeah,
of the
absolutely,
grants go.
right, okay.
Who's actually gonna run this? Like, you? Okay.
So I don't have anything else going
You're
on,
it,
so.
okay.
Me, and then Nancy's gonna help me, and Amanda, we have a lot of like, but in terms of like who you would contact,
Who's the main, you'd be the main one, all right.
And we reached out to one possible vendor, and she's really interested in it. So we felt that was really important too, to have the vendor's perspective, because if if they're not gonna make money, they're not gonna be able to come every week either.
Yeah.
So, and we're trying to deal around, you know, to plan it around other local towns.
Mhm.
We don't wanna compete against them.
Yeah, no, you almost can't, because there's only, it
No.
seems like there's only a certain, amount that actually like do it, and so, yeah, if they're already used to going somewhere else on a certain night, you almost gotta be different, so that.
that's part of the reason that we're also not doing one this year, and that we're kind of taking an entire year to plan it,
Mhm.
is cause I guess the way that Amanda and I, the first time we talked about it was like, it would be like a Hallmark movie, to have a little farmer's market in our main street, like, that's what people wanna go to, right? That's what people are posting on Facebook that they're there and they're coming back and the vendors love it. So we're taking this year to make sure we pick the right day and we can get all the cute signs and whatever else we need to, make it really cute,
Yeah,
I guess.
absolutely.
And we would hope it would grow big enough to be down at Too
Yes.
Good
Right,
and be the way it was years ago.
yeah,
I was gonna
exactly,
say,
that's,
wasn't there something they used to do at that too?
Yeah, have the meal, have maybe music, we wanna make it big.
yeah.
Like we said, kinda like like DeWitt, but on a smaller scale.
Mhm, yeah. That's why I didn't know, like, if you guys had something set in mind, cause even like with Davenport's, it's on a weekend, people are off, people are around,
We talked about, we haven't set a day yet, again, cause we need to research like what day everybody around us is.
Mhm.
Cause there's a pretty good chance there's a local farmer's market every day of the
Right.
week during the summer.
Right.
So just picking who we do and don't wanna compete with.
Sure.
But we did toss around like Saturday mornings,
Mhm.
or Monday nights, I think was maybe another one we talked about, or maybe like alternating
Maybe
between the
combo.
two. Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
no.
research to be done.
Yeah, no, they seem to be a real hot thing anymore, so, yeah, no. I guess, as far as council's perspective, what's everybody's thoughts on applying for the grant and kind of moving forward?
I guess I'm for it, if we got people wanna put the time and effort and legwork into it, I think.
Just don't call me for anything else. I have no room for anything else.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of finding a time that, like you said, it's, you know, I think where we kind of, it fizzled out last time was just that there was other local farmers markets that were more lucrative, which I get.
Right.
So, you know, if you can find a time that would be attractive, that they could fill in a day.
I don't know if you're
But I-
running it, I would
think
put
it'd
it
be
on a
great.
day works for you.
If that was the case, we probably wouldn't have one.
I don't know, I think we can make it work, or
Yeah.
help out whatever we need.
Well, you know what, I mean, it's a grant, there's no guarantees to it, so, I mean, the biggest thing right now is just, you know, kinda letting everybody kinda move forward with it and see where it goes, basically, right? Like,
And if we end up with an electronic sign, I know we've talked about that for 5 years, you know. That would be the first thing on the grant, so that would be just a win-win for the town.
Yeah,
And we're promoting that as bringing more business year-round to the town.
right,
Mhm.
right, yeah. Yep, no, that's not a bad thing at all, so. Okay, so, I guess do we need a motion on this, or? I guess everybody's in agreement. I don't
Yeah,
know if
I've
we
got
need a
no
motion,
issues,
Cheryl,
yeah.
or go for
We
it.
can have a motion,
Okay.
just a letter to approve application.
Okay.
Am I able to vote on that, being as I'm part of Preston Group and Development?
Is that conflict of interest?
What did
I
we-
don't think so.
No, it's not like a funding matter or, you know,
Yeah.
we're currently not spending any money right now,
Perfect.
so we're just saying go ahead and apply.
Cheryl, not to interrupt, but for Amanda's sake, how would the city, you know, whether it be monetary or not, but I'm not trying to be pushy, but it would look, like Megan said, it would look better if the city would support it
Mhm.
somehow, even minimal, but she's gotta work on the grant this week, like I
It's
said.
due on like Friday or something.
Yeah.
Or just do a letter, city do a letter to you guys?
You can do a letter, but I'm just asking, I'm not requesting, but if you would wanna do something financial, it would probably help in the bonus, on the points on the grants, I'm just saying. You know, whether it would be 100 or,
You talked about, the community contribution, right, from WPI?
Yeah, there's a few things that I kind of did, not only the monetary, you know, like our community contribution, we usually get a pretty good chunk. So up to like $1,000 from that, we can contribute. And then the in-kind match, we already pay for the city's insurance, so we could use that figure and show, you know, it's not gonna be any additional insurance cost. We've checked with the, insurance company, and as long as it's considered a city, then there's no extra charge for that, and we're already paying for the policy. There's a few in-kind things that we can come up to make it appealing enough and letter of support.
Yeah,
I think we'll be okay.
yeah, does that sound good, Nancy?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I just wanted it all decided, you know, Amanda needs it
yeah,
tomorrow.
I think
yeah, no, I don't think that's, too much to ask for, so. Yeah, as long as Cheryl says we're good with that as far as money wise, and, yeah, I think everybody's good with that.
Yep.
Yep, okay. Okay, I guess, somebody wants to make a motion to approve the DRA grant.
I'll make a motion to approve the filing of a DRA grant for Preston Growth and Development, for the farmer's market.
Second,
second,
need a roll call, please.
JT Thompson,
yes.
Matt Charity,
Yeah.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
Bill Meyer.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much.
Okay, number 10, discuss and consider approval of purchasing, a new truck for the electric department. Ray's here, and he's got included some quotes and pictures in the packet, if everybody got a chance to see those, so, I guess, Ray, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, as far as bids, I went to 3 different places, which was Bradbury, Tills, and Robbins. Robbins couldn't give me a bid because it would be a 2025 model.
Oh,
That's the only reason why he didn't give me one.
okay,
the other two, Brad Deere has it in stock. Basically, what I was kind of looking at, and it's there, and it's, I think, like a couple $1,000s less than what the Hills
Yeah,
bid is.
yeah.
So
And Till's bid is pretty much the exact same truck.
it is even a little bit less options.
Oh, really?
Yeah, few things, nothing much.
Okay.
But yeah, this one had like the power mirrors and the windows, which was what I,
Yeah,
the extra one I wanted, but
yeah.
yeah, there's just a few extra options that are on it
Okay.
that came in that package that they
Yep.
have set on the lot.
Okay. What did we budget for this, Cheryl, do you remember? Was it, I wanna say it was like around 40, wasn't it?
It was 40.
42.
42.
Was it
yeah.
42? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if they would, if you guys say yes, if they would just, not get it right away, but maybe hold off, or how they would bill it
Yeah.
to make it go with the new budget year.
Okay. Yeah, that's,
I guess I never asked them that question, but I'm sure they would work with us on it.
I would think so.
yeah, and I would say even if we put money down or something on it too, usually
Yeah.
they hold it for you, if we,
Yeah, because I checked Friday and they didn't sell it yet, so,
Okay.
like you said, it's kind of one of those things that you gotta have a need for that certain type of truck.
Right.
And it, like I said, it fit right into what I was looking at, and basically the same as what Jack had got back in 21, it's pretty much
Yeah,
same thing, only his was GMC, this is Chevy.
Yeah.
And it's white, so.
yeah. And then we'll get a back rack and everything for it and put a light on it.
Well, like I said, I really don't necessarily need that back rack, that makes
Okay.
sense, I don't think, I can just get a light that actually is magnetic, that
Oh,
is on the truck and it just wired in, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I can do that myself. And-
okay,
And that's, whatever the cost of the light is, would be.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that works.
Are the tops of those trucks metal?
Yeah,
Are they?
yeah.
Some of them aren't. I ran into that in the past. Plastic on
Aluminum.
the top or.
Oh, really?
Well, as far as I know it is.
Gotcha.
I would assume it is, but,
Well, I guess it is, let's go. Something different, huh?
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I actually,
Tap pads.
What do we do with the other truck?
that one, the one I'm driving now, we'll keep that one, and then the one that we have, that was Jack's old gas truck, the old red one, which is a 2000.
Oh, so this will go to Gertz, cause he's driving that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the other one we just, I don't know, whatever he wants to do with it, put it out for bid or whatever, just sell it, or do it that way.
It probably don't have many miles on it, does it? The old one?
I don't know what his has, I'll be honest with you, I know the one I got is not too far from 87.
Okay.
I would think we could probably sell it.
Oh, if somebody would pick it up, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's still four-wheel drive works, yeah,
Yeah.
I think you get, I don't know what you get out of it, but I'm not gonna say, but.
Probably enough to cover whatever it takes to get us down to 42,000 we budgeted.
Well, that is,
$6.
I think the estimate was
42.7.
47, yeah. Which at first, the first bid he gave me was 46 something on that one.
Yeah.
But then I called him back and talked to him, I said, you guys can do a little better on that, since it's in stock and you wanna move it.
Right.
He said, well, they just lowered the price on it, so that's what they came back.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, we kind of, we're talking about this and have it budgeted, so obviously we kind of knew this was, what we wanted to do, so. Yeah, I like that it matches the other new truck that we just got a couple
it's,
years ago.
yeah, basically the grill is gonna be about the only thing
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Chevy to GMC, so.
Okay. All right, what's everybody else's thoughts on it?
Budgeted for it and it's in our price range.
Yep.
Might as well do it.
All right, everybody good with that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve the purchasing of the new truck for call them, let them know, and
I will do that.
perfect. And then, we're gonna get it stickered, probably.
I'm assuming so, I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably do it like, design like the garbage truck or whatever, or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Ray.
Yep.
Thanks, Ray.
Okay, number 11, discussion on discussion of utilities policies / ordinances for non-payment of utility bills. So this was something we kind of tabled from last meeting. We kind of were curious, or council was kind of curious on what exactly or how that ordinance read. So that's included in your packet. And I guess, Cheryl, I guess if you wanna kind of touch on it a little bit too, looking at the, what's it called? The past due, or,
The aging report.
yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like, I mean, we don't have, and like, I think we talked to last week, some of the big ones have came in and made some payments, so.
Yeah, I can touch on that a little bit. The ordinance that we included in the packet, it just explains the billing and when they're due and the guidelines. The gas and electric utilities are governed by the Iowa Utility Board, so they tell us when, and we have to follow those guidelines for electric and garbage, especially when it comes to the winter months during November till April 1st. We run into it every year that a lot of people that qualify for the heating assistance, they cannot be shut off during that time for the gas and electric. And a lot of those do end up being renters. So that's kind of where we run into a little bit of trouble when it comes to, if they get behind and they're renters, they may just move out and we can't do anything about it. So Tracy and I have talked, and we're going to be more diligent on sending copies of the reminder notices to the landlords at the same time. Even the very first one, they're late, just to stay on top of it. And to also hold the landlords not accountable for what's left, but if we can enforce them or request them that they sign off within 30 days that property or that apartment change hands. So they sign off and say, we're not responsible, as long as we keep in communication with them and they're aware of the programs, signing off on the utilities. And if they don't follow up and be good landlords and, help us with their tenants, take some heat off of it, then we can place liens on the property if they don't sign off on it. So that's something we want to start doing a little bit better. As far as the Asia reports, the first one we put in the packet was the month end, April. And compared to last time, I think we ran it, it has gone down. And then I added one at the last minute for the, as of today, so it just kind of shows, aging reports is like a bullseye target. I mean, it depending on the day when the bills go out, all to do with timing on who's paid their bills, what's in the balances and everything, so it's, I'm gonna pull up the one from 15. Look at the last page, the last column where it shows all the, you see it okay? Probably not.
3,181.
Right. Yeah, that's the 90-day over. Compared to the one in your packet, the first column balance as of April 30th was 23,000, and this one is 139,000. So that shows us that these are balances for all active customers that, including the new bill that went out. So anybody that hasn't paid anything on the new bill. So that column is for active customers that have balances on their account.
Okay.
And there could be negative balances, which means they have a credit on their account for people that are on the budget. I think Tracy touched base on that last time. and the next column is the current bill. So this is what's left on their current bill, in addition to the account balance. 111,000 is still on the current bill, which is due May 28th. That's what billing period we're in. So the column 3 is 19,192, where we didn't, there's nothing on the April 30th agent report for the 30 days. But, so those amounts have been paid off. The 30-day overdue amount includes the people that haven't paid by the 28th. So then their shut-off date becomes 12 days after. And as of today, well, you have to figure in weekends and everything, so I think the actual shut-off date, yeah, they have till tomorrow. And so about 19,000 haven't paid by the shut-off date. They include both budget customers that may be a little bit behind on their average, catching up from the winter or whatever. And then it also includes people that are on payment agreements, which we have probably at least 5 or 6 that have large balances, so that all those dollar amounts are included in there. As you can kind of tell by the end of the month, those are typically cleaned up as far as that goes. And then the 60-day, that has dropped from 12,252 down to 5,359. So those are the payments that people have either gotten their taxes and paid off their large balances, or somehow, it's pretty much just a vicious cycle, hit and miss. But no, I am glad you're taking interest in finding ways to keep it under control and to make you aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest thing, to me, is making sure that, council stays up to date on everything. And I guess it kind of all came to a head, with the last council meeting when we had to put a property on lien. I guess just trying to avoid, that, to where if it gets to that point where we got to put a lien against it, maybe we need to be looking at other steps, or, before it gets to that point, I guess is my biggest takeaway from it.
And like we said, every circumstance is different. We knew the
Yeah.
property was gonna be sold, and without being stuck for it,
Yeah,
we reached out to the property owner, said, we're gonna put a lien on the property, so we're guaranteed. Because, they can promise you, well, as soon as we get it sold, we're gonna pay you the balance. But just was taking precautions so we didn't get stuck.
yeah, and I'm all for helping people out, and, I guess the biggest thing too is, is we also have to look out for the city's best interest as well, which I know you guys are doing too, but yeah, I guess that's the biggest thing, is just so everybody kind of stays up to date on kind of where we're sitting, and yeah, I like the idea of, not that every issue is a rental issue, but, some of them have been issues in the past, and I like the idea of kind of trying to hold, there's only so much we can do with the renters, and holding them responsible for the people they rent their property out to. But I like the idea of at least making them somewhat accountable and somewhat aware of, the people that they have running their property, and kind of how they sit. So I think that's a very good first step of trying to remedy this a little bit, and, in the future, if we have problems with rentals.
We'll have to do something different.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll just be a little more diligent on doing, like, what do we call it, background checks and stuff prior to renting out,
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think we should have to be hung out back if a renter ditches and we can't.
Right.
After the
Right.
landlord, I don't,
Well, once we did get a letter from us saying that, this is gonna be part of your job too from now on, maybe
Right.
we'll just be a little more diligent on looking at that, so.
Yeah, you start bothering landlords, and hopefully that'll
Yeah.
help, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause
And
right now, now I
Like I
think
said, it's not all renters, we're not just coming down and renting.
No,
That's-
no,
But the biggest problem with the renters problem is when they fight a bill and move out, that's
Yeah.
when we get stuff.
They can leave real quick.
yeah, yeah. So, no, I think it's a good first step and, we'll kind of go from there and then, I guess we'll keep kind of reviewing the aging report and keep putting that in the packets every month and everybody can kind of see where we're sitting and hopefully we don't have to deal with it again, but, if we do.
And I just wanna make formal mention that the aging reports that you guys are receiving do not include any names or addresses on those, just
Yeah,
in case someone's saying, well, under,
Yeah.
who's,
yeah, no, we don't know any names.
You don't know, and if, that's
Yeah, it's,
not public record,
yeah,
but
it's
the
very
dollar
confidential.
So you said you got a total amount, like if we went into having to shut some people off, how many customers is that?
That haven't paid like by tomorrow,
Yeah, like if we were to, this is what we're doing, we're gonna stand by it, is it 20 people?
20 maybe.
I mean, it's just, that's a workload for our guys too. Like if it comes to
Right.
it, it's like all of a sudden they got 30 people to shut down in one day.
Right.
And as soon as, instead of posting all 20, if they're behind, Tracy will give them a call and say, your payment was due yesterday, and they're like, oh, thanks for calling. A lot of them,
For
We
sure.
call everybody before.
Yeah, it's not like
we
we're gonna-
post them.
that'll
so-
like nip it in half for sure,
Right,
and
yeah.
the rest of them
Yeah.
are posted.
Right, yeah,
Or the ones that promise they're bringing the money in and the money never shows up, then
Yeah.
post it.
yeah. Yeah, and I think it's probably just the few and far between that can get out of hand sometimes, that, I just need to.
When you say posted, like,
We'll put a note on their door.
On their door, okay.
That says
That's
you
what I
have
thought, okay.
24 hours to bring, or
That should be
48
enough to-
hours, I think it is, to bring the money in,
Depends
or,
on if they're renting.
yeah, like that should be enough to.
yeah.
Yeah, but you can't post that, then not shut them off.
No, if we post it, I'd say, yeah.
If you post that,
If we post it and we don't have the money in
You
48
have to
hours,
shut
then
that
we
off,
shut
or
them
you're
off,
just-
yes.
yeah, because the next,
Yeah,
No,
otherwise-
we do.
No, they have to pay that amount in full, or
They have to
just?
pay it in
Or
full,
come
or
in
come
and-
in and make an agreement
some
with
sort of
us.
agreement.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Part of the customer rights and responsibilities, one of them is to have the option of entering into a
Mhm.
reasonable payment agreement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we can't keep like credit cards on file, like they come up, it's, they owe $500 and then 5 months, 100. We don't keep them logged for an automatic withdrawal like that. Okay.
The only we do offer automatic withdrawal, for
Energy
utility
bills.
bills,
Yeah.
but we get a few more of those every month or so too.
I don't think we're the only.
Oh, no, I'm sure not. I'm sure not.
And a lot of the aging report, if we would do everybody, utilities, I guess, it's a whole another subject, to write off uncollectible balances. We have never really done that, and the auditors really don't press it. It's just money that's just,
That just shows up on your bottom line anyway,
Yeah.
kind of is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for the update, and, yeah, we'll keep kind of reviewing them and just kind of go from there, so. Just kind of quick tutorial for everybody. Okay, let's jump down to other business. Amos Street, pre-construction meeting, Mark set that up, was it last week, I think, for May 23rd at 8:30. Is he gonna be down here for that, or is that just gonna be via Zoom?
pre-construction, he'll be down here.
He'll be down here?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so if anybody's around on the 23rd at 8:30 and they want us to come down, they're welcome.
And I've done it before, it is right in the middle of the work week and in the morning, so a lot of people can't be here. I could video it in case anything comes up.
Okay.
I did have a property owner within that project come in and ask about certain things, so I would like to, maybe discuss it with Mark and record it, just so we know it's addressed and how we're handling it, so it's not way everybody can at least view it and
Okay,
have a copy of it.
That's
okay.
good.
If they can't make it, but if anyone from council or the street committee or anyone else wishes to attend, you're more than welcome.
McNeil subdivision, lot size, what do you got for update on that, Cheryl?
When Mark called me to set the pre-construction meeting, he did, bring up that it's still on his radar, and he wants to actually come to a meeting and get some figures together and present it to the council when he has that stuff together, so.
That'll work.
He'll be coming to a meeting in the near future.
Yeah, I'm assuming the construction will be done.
Yeah, I would think next meeting will probably be here.
I think he probably will, yeah.
Okay. Stormwater update, is that the,
I think Eric just told me basically that Cundy should be down to the Merrill Street one, like this week or next, and get that tube put in.
okay,
So that's still not done, but it will be.
yeah,
And there's been another complaint down on East Davis Street after all that heavy rain. I mean, it basically flooded over the whole street, and it's kind of another area. So since Mark's gonna be down here on the 23rd, he gonna go take a look at that, maybe put some ideas together for that as well.
okay,
Yeah, he'd take a look at it while he's here, we already said that.
okay,
Perfect.
And the back alley, gonna get a price on Cundy from digging that out too, to
Okay.
help with the flow back there,
okay.
so.
Summer help update, sounds like Connor's back on the,
Yep, Connor's
on the
gonna be
wagon.
returning for a second summer beginning tomorrow.
back on the garbage truck, I should say.
Yeah. And the lawnmower, garbage.
Yep.
Are we paying the same, or are we giving him a raise, or what are we doing?
Well, since he remained employee throughout the year, and he has worked during spring break and worked during the winter as he could, it was my thoughts to wait, keep him at the $14 where he's at, and then when everybody gets their raises July 1, take a look at that now, maybe give, in the past, we bumped up every year $1,
Yeah,
but we can wait till the July 1st and do them all at once, since he's still.
yeah, sounds good.
And then the signage for the business district,
Yeah, the
what do you,
small business owner here in town, Amanda, came down and, you know, her and other business owners has been talking about, it would just be nice to have signage showing where the business district is, that there's restaurants, whatever, just to get people. And that was part of our walk around too, as
Yeah.
far as getting, you know, people may find us eventually, but only if they want to. So point them in the right direction to get them uptown. And I wanted to talk to Amanda DuPont and see if maybe that can be added as part of the DRA grant.
yeah,
And I was just, along with electronic sign, get more signage to the downtown district. And she also commented that there's other mini grants for those kind of things
Is
too,
there?
so
okay,
I just wanted to put it out there so it doesn't get kind of, we talked about it before and we just need to.
yeah, we've talked about that for years and trying to do something out along the highway, and I think, probably the biggest holdup is probably because of the DOT thing, you know, that's kind of the biggest deterrent to that, but not to say that it can't be done, because I think, yeah, like I said, we talked about that for years, and, yeah, I think we definitely.
Yeah, and Amanda from Jackie's Ice Cream said she'd be happy to come to a meeting, kind of get her thoughts on it too. She
Yeah.
just wasn't available tonight.
Yeah,
I said, well, we'll bring it up for other business tonight. We get a few more information on it. We can-
yeah, I definitely think run it by Amanda DuPont, see what she thinks and
Yeah,
what's out there, so.
Why don't they do something not on the state highway where the DOT is regulated, I think we can do some other stuff, can't we, in town? You know, if you're driving up, you know.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing was trying to get along the highway, you know, so people know to turn off the highway, you know, getting that.
Yeah, I know that's the main thing, it'd be nice if.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
get
there's
in town.
nothing to say we can't have anything anywhere else, pointing downtown.
we start there and then work at the signage on the highway.
Yeah, 'cause DOT's a pain, so.
Yeah, we're just trying to get some more information. on
Yeah.
that.
Okay, sounds good. And then the Jackson County comp plan, everybody's probably gotten that email, but, that public hearing is May 20th.
Yep, just wanted to put it in your packet and share it as they asked us to.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, does anybody else have anything for other business?
Chad, do you have anything?
Jay, do you?
Not really, just got a GTSB grant approval for $4,380. That'll start in the federal fiscal year, starting in October 1st, so. For $2,000 towards a new radar and $2,380 for wages to work the various, waves of enforcement.
Nice. Heck yeah. All adds up.
What do you got, Rick?
There's just something on the website for Dearies. I'll have to talk to them in the morning, but it's down to 41, 430 right now.
You wanna wait till Wednesday?
You can call them up, say, well, they only said I like to spend 40,000.
Well, that's all, yeah.
Exactly.
I'll work with them on it, yeah.
There you go. All right, beat them down, Ray,
Yeah.
beat them down. Okay, Chad,
Back
you
from
good?
that speed.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Nothing
Just
yet.
send everything in, I suppose it's just like anything else. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, sounds good. Well, unless there's any other, discussion needed, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn then.
Second? Second. And roll call, please.
Matt Shorty,
Yep.
Adam Ryder,
Yes.
Joe Meyer,
Yes.
J.C. Thompson.
Yes.